Hi Deva, you know today is most important day, right?
Yes, I know. Today is the Data Privacy Day. Every year, January 28th, Data Privacy Day is celebrated across the world.
Yes. And this special day, shall we discuss something related to data privacy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So to start, why do we celebrate Data Privacy Day?
Data Privacy Day is one of the most important day a year to promote the awareness on the data privacy, protecting the information, personal information, and also promoting the best practices in the data privacy. Mainly to emphasize the online privacy of safeguarding the personal information for both the individuals as well as the organization across the world. So that's why this is one of the important day which is celebrated across the world.
It sounds good. I feel like everyone talking about data privacy these days. What's your perspective on data privacy?
Basically, data privacy is the practice of handling the data aligned with the individual's rights. As a data, as my personal data, I am more concerned about my personal data. Like that should not get leaked out or it should not get misused, like unauthorized access and all. Generally, as an individual, I am more concerned about my data. Okay? So the practice or the way of handling the data, which can able to protect the information, what the intended use of the information, that's called as data privacy basically. So what is the purpose we are collecting the data? It should be used for only for that purpose. It should not be used beyond that purpose. So to ensure all these things, the way of handling all these things, we generally call it as a data privacy. Okay.
That makes sense. With all this talk about data privacy, why is it crucial for everyone?
Why it is crucial for everyone? Because see, if my personal data is readily available everywhere, anywhere, anytime in the sense, it is affecting my privacy and the data can be misused in an unethical way. That might leads to some kind of a fraudulent activity, identity theft, and also see if there is no proper data privacy systems in place, then my data can be manipulated, my data can be altered, and it will be totally irrational usage of the data. So eventually it will be end up in some major problems, breach of data that could lead to a potential, damage to the particular individual.
Every country has different data privacy rules. What do you think would be a holistic approach to ensure data privacy globally?
As you said, each and every countries are having their own laws and regulations to ensure the data privacy. In India also there is a DPDP Act, and even if you take the European Union, there is a GDPR. That's one of the famous regulations for to ensure the data privacy. But to approach the data privacy in a holistic manner, we can consider some of the points which can be ensured. Okay, for example, I am saying we can follow the proper data collection principles. For example, we have to collect the data for the specific purpose. We should not go beyond the specific purpose or getting all the data which is actually not required to the process, and limiting the storage. Like we should not retain the data or be collecting for a longer time. Once the intended purpose is get completed, we have to dispose the data properly. We should not retain ourselves with the data. And similarly, putting a proper access control in place, putting some good encryption technologies and cryptographic controls in place, and also as a data subject or like as an individual, I am having certain rights with my data. So whatever the data I am with, personal identifiable information or any personal data I am providing to a individual or else an organization, I am having certain rights. So you have to establish the rights which I can able to claim when there is a need for that. So you establish in order to ensure the data privacy regulations. Okay? As well as you are, whenever sharing the data, whenever there is data sharing between the one party to another party, there should be a proper controls in place in terms of authentication and then encryptions, as I said. So everything should be there in place so that we can able to ensure the best data privacy controls over the movement of this personal data. So put together all these controls, all these points can serve as a baseline to implement or to achieve the data privacy in a holistic manner, regardless of any other country's compliance. Because countries will have their regulations specific to their country environment and then the authorities.
What do you think actually? What is the if you think everybody wanted the best practices, everybody want to know.
Mm.
So suggest us which is the top 3 best practices for the data privacy.
Top 3 best practices sounds good. Actually, first of all, whatever the data we are collecting, we should always protect the information with some good encryptions. Because if the data is not encrypted, unfortunately, if that particular data is subjected to a breach, then the data will get leaked out. Okay, then it might goes to other implications of the data privacy. For example, it may lead to a penalty from the individual, from the organization. So, in order to avoid that, we have to protect the personal data with some encryption technologies using multi-factor authentication, having a proper data storage in a proper manner. Okay, and getting the consent from the individual, from the organization. Other important control like updating the devices where you are used for the processing of the personal data to up to date. Okay, because the security updates and security patches and all, it's very crucial. We have to do that regularly on time so that we can able to ensure if there is any critical vulnerabilities available in that particular system, it will be remediated as soon as possible. So doing regular updating of the system is very important. So while following all these best practices, definitely we can able to achieve the good data privacy system within the company as well as between the individuals. Everything can be in a better manner.
That's good. I feel really good actually. So thank you so much, Deva, for the valuable
Thank you,
information for the
Siva.
entire session. Catch up again.